Hi people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a long time since I have posted a video and I was quite busy in life. So purpose of today's video is very it comes very naturally to me and it is a little bit emotional too. So yesterday was Women's Day and okay, so let's just cut the crap and I'm going to explain it very raw and just the way how I experienced, how I thought about a lot of things about Women's Day 2026. So in my life, okay, I have a mother, a grandmother, and I don't have very good relations with my paternal family. Okay, so but this Women's Day, I gifted a bouquet of roses to my mom, to my grandma, and I also gifted them a dress and silver earrings. So earlier, okay, what my thought was, I didn't know that it's never it's never among about the fight among women. Like when see, I don't have very good relations with my grandma, but when I just gave the gift to her, she was so happy and there was not a bit of regret in my heart that okay, that we don't have good relations, so I must not give her that gift. So there was nothing like that, and I was feeling so good because I asked my grandmom that have you ever received flowers from anyone before. She said no, and I could not process all that. I just couldn't process all that. Like I was thinking that okay, that that woman who is maybe 65 or 70-year old, she never got flowers in her whole life, and it was me, I was the first person who gave her flowers. That thing turned out very emotional for me. It turned out as a very big realization for me according to what I have experienced in my household, so in my family and all, that even though there were no good relations between me and my grandmom, and still when I got to know that she never received my grandmom never received flowers from anybody. I have gifted my mom flowers before, but I never gave it to my grandmother because obviously we are not on nice terms. Okay, we are not on good terms. Since I was a child, it's been like that. Okay, but then I realized a woman can stop a war between her and other women if she wants to, because it's never about women fighting with each other or women like putting other women down and all. It is never about that. I would never want to hurt or send any bad energy to another woman, because I just realized that that person, she received flowers first time in her life from anybody else. Like she haven't gotten that from anybody, neither her husband. She never received those flowers. My grandma never received flowers from anybody, and I was the first person who gave her those flowers. It may not be a big thing for anybody else, it was a very big deal for me. And when I heard it from her mouth that I'm the first person who gave her flowers, it was a very big deal. I haven't made any script for this video because this is going to be a raw video. I am really just letting it all out. I'm just talking about how I felt and what I felt and why I think I felt that. Because when you grow up in a household where you don't have good relations with your like paternal family, right? Like your dad's side of family. I have worst relations with my dad's side. Okay, so and at this point I don't expect nothing from them. So still, I don't know how there was a very special energy in that moment. We went out, me and my sister, we went out, we bought the gifts, and when we came back home, I gave it to my mom and grandmom, and that moment was too special. Like, I didn't think about it before that it is going to be so special. It was like a very normal thing that, okay, it's Women's Day, and okay, let's give something to mom and grandma. But it turned out to be a big lesson for me. I don't know about my grandmother because, okay, I have one thing in my mind. I don't expect things from people who are just not my priority, because it is better not to hurt yourself by just hoping that some people would change. Maybe they don't even think about it, that their behavior is causing harm to someone else's emotions, or so my emotional expectations were already zero in front of them. But this moment, it changed my perspective towards her only. And I realized that maybe she didn't receive enough love. Like, maybe, see, women who are tough or women who are constantly bickering, and I think they just don't, they like, maybe they didn't receive enough love in their life. Old women or our grandmoms and all, I think they have so much of negative things, negative thoughts, or they have so much of that trauma they've piled up. They have so much, they have faced so much of emotional negligence. Like, they never got that emotionally intelligent people to handle them. So I think, yeah, that's their bickering is maybe valid, their emotions are valid. And I think any woman who is who we perceive as like she's tough, or she is talking about negative things, or she is, why is she nagging everybody, why is she bickering about things, I think she just needs, or she like really she needs more love. And I think that love you give her, it can really change her into a very soft, feminine, and more like you can literally invoke her inner child, and she can feel more like childlike energy and all. And I think this move I did, it was a good one. I didn't plan it too far, but I think it was a good one, because it really did change my perspective about my family dynamics. It's not like everything is fixed, like not from like other people's end, but in my mind, I just don't have hate, or I never have hate about other, like regarding other women, but I just don't have that that grudge over her now, because I don't think that is valid. My grudge over her is not valid. I know nothing about her. Yeah, maybe she tried to pass trauma on me, but I think that is not my part. For any woman watching this video, if you are going through, something like this, like you have a woman like this in your house, you have a grandmom, or you have like even your mom, if they treat you not nicely, or they, you think that they do a lot of bickering, they do talk lots of negativity. And I have tried a lot of times in like my family to sort out these things, to sort out maybe, if some things could be fixed, and I always thought like that, but I couldn't change my family. So I got cats. Okay, so yeah, I couldn't change my grandmom, my dad, and I have stopped expecting from them anything, because I really just accepted that people who would care about you, they will change themselves for you. Period. You don't have to keep waiting and hoping for them to change, because people who do care about you, you should only care about them. You don't need to keep waiting and hoping for people who don't give a shit about you to just change for good, like, no, if they care about you, they will not hurt you. They will try their 100% to not hurt you, to not make any move that will hurt you. And I learned this very recently, that even if they're your family, so-called on paper family, if they constantly do things that they know hurt you, they try to pressurize you about things that they may know that you are not in charge of right now, still if they do things that hurt you emotionally, physically, in any way, I would say don't give a damn about those people. Just focus on what you need to do. I was thinking a lot about, like, since past few months, I was going back and forth and doing all the efforts that maybe I could change something, maybe I could change these people, maybe I could make them feel more positive, or maybe I could motivate them, maybe I could change their perspective about our family, about our lives. I couldn't. And then I stopped explaining to my family that that what you are doing is hurting me. I stopped doing that, because all I realized that, okay, that I have explained it to them calmly, dramatically, while crying, while screaming. I have explained it to them well enough that the things you are doing, or things you are trying to avoid, or things you are pressuring me about is hurting me. But if they wanted to understood, if they wanted to understand, they could have evolved into people who will, who will take responsibility, of their actions, their thoughts. Like, they would have been more emotionally intelligent, right? Okay, not emotionally intelligent, at least they could have done the basic things to keep peace, right? Not to shout, not to scream. But see, I reached the conclusion, and no, it is not a very, like, observation of a kid. It is not that, okay? It is an observation after years of judgment, years of trauma, and years of hope, false hope, that people could change. Some people. See, people do change, but only those change who do care about you. If the other person don't give a fuck about them, even if he's your dad, mother, or grandmom, whoever, father, mother, anybody, if they are hurting you, don't think too much about that. Maybe they will change if they want to. If the other person, cares about you, if they love you enough to make you feel secure, they will try their best not to hurt you. Okay, sometimes people don't know about things that may hurt us, but when things are being repetitive, trust me, they know they are hurting you. So you better get your shit together and move on from any traumatic situation, emotionally or mentally, that is causing just harm to you. Because in this process of explaining people that, like, those are not listening to you, that, okay, that your actions are hurting me, you will only lose yourself. I was on the urge to lose myself in this process of, like, keep trying to keep it all together, keep it all, peaceful, like, because it was only I who was trying to keep it peaceful, while other people are trying to make it difficult for me. Okay, there are good people in my life, but when you live with a family in which not all may be bad, but some, if they try to constantly do things intentionally or not that hurt you, you will you may lose yourself in process. So better I reached a conclusion about this after trying all these things, okay, by all possible ways, that one can only focus on themselves, one can only take responsibility and accountability of things what they are in charge of. You can focus on what you can control, and you can not give a shit about things you cannot control. And things you cannot control includes people who don't care about your feelings, behavior of people who don't care about your intentions, your feelings, or you. Because to people who really care about you, you won't have to explain them like more than twice to, like, okay, bro, this thing is hurting me, and I think I've explained this before, and can we do something that can keep peace between us? If that person is not willing to keep peace, see, you cannot fix anybody else's life, but you can always take control of your life. If someone else is trying to put their burden or their responsibility with pressure on you, don't think too much about that person. Trust me, they know what they are doing. So don't feel pity, don't pity about people, or don't show too much of sympathy to people, because a lot of times we fall in trap of manipulators. So save yourself, for your future, for your goals. No one can steal your goals from you, no one can steal your vision from you, no one can steal your journey, your path from you, no one can steal your magic from you. I am not a very serious person. Like, I don't stay serious a lot of times. I have a lot of fun, I have lot of like, I do fun, okay, I do think about a lot of good things. I laugh a lot, but there are some things that do affect us emotionally. All I have realized till now, that these things can go, okay, as they are, but when you shift your focus to just see, if you're sad, just think about it. Can you change this feeling of sadness? If whatever the situation is, if it's in your control, then you can. But if this thing is about someone else's behavior which is hurting you, you cannot change that, right? But you can change about the fucks given. So shift to no fucks given about that person, because remember, if they care about you, they won't hurt you. They will give their best not to hurt you, especially when you have told them the next times that, okay, this thing is non-negotiable. So move on, girls. And okay, this is not about relationships and all, okay, this was basically about inner child or family trauma and all, because there are a lot of girls, I feel, who go through shit because of their families, because of their because they went through toxic parenting or something like that. So I would just say, I don't know what situation you are in, but I wish so good for you. And I would just say, please just focus on yourself. You focusing on anybody else, any family member, any relative, any person, anybody who is not giving a shit about you, is going to lead you nowhere, right? So what if you just focus on what you are going to do, what you want to do, what you want to buy, what you want to achieve, what goals you want to hit in this year. So things could be way too different, right? I know sometimes situations are complicated. Believe me, sometimes we complicate things a lot. I used to think that, okay, this thing maybe I cannot solve it, but I could solve it just by letting go of control over other people's behaviors, or like thinking too much about, I stopped thinking too much about consequences that may happen because of anybody else's behavior. And I started working on what I need to do to make myself feel secure. Believe me, God will shower you with blessings. You will have good people. There are a lot of good people in this world, okay? So better not to hold on to shitty ones. Bye bye. I know I'm a bit late about this, but happy Women's Day.